Hello, we are super excited to share with you today the route for the upcoming Nomad Cruise that goes to Asia. If you are around here, it would be amazing if you just let us know from what part of the world you are joining us. Yeah, super excited to share this with you. We already shared all the details on the last cruise. And yeah, and we actually have already 100 people almost 100 people on this journey that will happen in February. So when you are joining here, yeah, just let us know a little bit, like from what part of the world you are joining us here, and also let me know if you can understand us, well, because yeah. If you can understand this, or if the internet is like slow or something. So can you hear us, and let us know from where you're joining? That would be amazing. And then we are just waiting like a few more minutes as we are sending out these emails for everyone to join. And then we are starting, and we will share all info about the upcoming cruise. So also what I want to do now is I want to invite Stephanie. Stephanie is also part of the Nomad Cruise team, and she's doing a lot of calls and like informing people who want to join us on board. And I'm really excited that she's joining us here today for the webinar as well. So let's welcome Steph.
Hey guys.
And yes, from where are you joining us today, Steph?
I'm joining from sunny Lisbon.
That's amazing. Yeah, and I am actually joining here from Naxos in Greece. We just had a cruise with almost 300 people that was going here, and there's a huge reunion happening here in Naxos. So yeah, that's from where we are joining here, and it's great to see. Yeah, so many of you coming here into the call, and we'll just jump right in almost. Okay, so first of all, happy to see you here, Susan, joining us from Macedonia, and Ashley from Guatemala, and a few more people from different places, from England, Strasbourg, Dominican Republic. That's really amazing. And yeah. So we'll dive right into this. And also Dawn is joining us from Naxos. That's really cool. So also other people, alumni here from this journey. And yeah, I think that we'll just go right into this and go into this trip. So just one thing I wanted to share here as well. So, well, these are the things that we will talk about in this webinar, in this launch party, and so we'll talk a little bit about the route, the ship, the highlights of this journey, and the program, and reunion plans, and yeah, and how everyone can get involved, and how you can book and jump on board. Okay, so. Also, at the end of this event, we will ask 2 questions, and we have a little giveaway, some drink packages. We usually do this, so if you're just listening and if you're around here with us, yeah, that would be great to do. And I'll just go into this. Okay, so this cruise, yeah, we just had this. You can see this photo here. So it's an amazing way and opportunity to join us with, I think that will actually be over 300 people on this one. And it's an amazing way to actually kickstart your nomad life in Asia. And yeah, we just did this. We just did a very similar trip. So yeah, that's how we will start. And Steph, how was the last cruise for you?
It was a bit of a whirlwind, but an amazing time to connect with the community, old friends, new faces. It was super, super exciting, and just nonstop networking, exploration, and adventure. It was amazing.
Okay. And yeah, so I want to say again, like when we're doing this cruise, it's always the same. Well, basically, we have a lot of program, we have a lot of things that we are planning and that we kind of publish officially. But really, what is actually happening on board is really the chance to network with a lot of other digital nomads, people who are running so many different kinds of businesses, and that in a really unique environment. I mean, not just like a dry conference, but we're doing so much more. And I will talk a little bit more about this now in the upcoming things. So these are just a few more photos from our last trip, and yeah, this will be the ship that we will be using, and it's Costa Serena that we are going to use in Asia, and it's a little bit larger than the one ship that we had now. And you can see it has got theaters, it has got bars, really everything that you want from a cruise. And yeah, we are sailing Asia for 8 days, and that includes 4 countries. And yeah, I'm actually really excited that we're going to Asia, because so many of you have asked for this in the past. And yeah, that we can finally, get this, make this trip happen. And talking about the route, so actually this time, this journey basically starts in Singapore on the 7th of February. Then we will have one day at sea. Then we are going to Brunei, and then we will go to the Philippines and end up in Hong Kong. So really across Asia on this trip, and it's an amazing chance, yeah, to see all these different countries, and then continue the journey along there. Here you can see the full route. So this is this is the full route of the journey, and yeah, it's kind of like in between Thailand and Indonesia, Bali, where we are going through. And yeah, now let's talk a little bit about the program. So basically, what are your highlights, Steph, when we are talking about the cruise? In what
The
way?
main highlight is honestly
Yes.
is the people, it's the community, it's connecting, it's, there's finding inspiration, figuring out about all of the different ways to do things and live the life that we want, the freedom life that we want. But it's mainly the community, the connections. That's what comes to mind.
Yes, and we're doing this. I mean, we're building this community in many different ways, as many of you probably already know, right? We have keynotes, we have workshops, there's theme dinners where we connect around different topics. We're organizing masterminds on board, morning program, including yoga, acro yoga. You were doing this now on this last cruise. And conference, story night, social events. So there's really a lot of different things happening when we are running this cruise, okay? And yeah, and then also most importantly, and I think that this is really the amazing thing about this Asia cruise, is that you get to know and you get to meet so many different people that you can then explore your trip, your time in Asia with. And yeah, so actually this is what I will talk about now as well. So because I need to switch the slides actually, so it works like this. So after this cruise, we will be organizing also meetups for the community, for those 300 people in Taiwan, Thailand, Vietnam, and Japan. So you cannot just only go to on this cruise, but it's all about traveling together. And yeah, maybe Steph, I want to ask you a little bit about the reunions and the things that you've been doing when you were traveling with us, and how, yeah, compared, let's say, like talking about the reunions and the cruise itself, like how does this come together, and what did you always do after the cruise, and who did you team up with? Maybe you can talk a little bit about your experiences that you've done in the past, and how this can actually add some value to the cruise itself.
Absolutely. So you've always said it, the cruise is just the beginning. So the cruise is the time to kind of meet the people that you want to connect with. And there's a lot of synchronicities that are going to happen. You're going to find people that want to do the same things as you, whether it is to launch their business, to travel, to explore. And then that relationship continues and you continue to develop it and foster it after the cruise. So on my first cruise, I was supposed to go home about 2 days after we landed in Panama, and I never went home. I stayed traveling with the community. Some of them went to Costa Rica, some of them went to Colombia, but then we ended up crossing paths all over the region over the coming months. And so that's what you can usually expect is, you get to know some people, make some connections, and then the real magic happens after the cruise when you get to really dive a little bit deeper and really go further with anything that you started on the boat. So stay flexible, make sure that you have the ability to continue to travel, because a lot of things will come up that you'll want to do. And that would be my best advice. Just make sure that you're flexible.
Yeah, and I actually wanted to add here as well that we are not just organizing actually these events for the community who's joining on this trip, but also we are inviting everyone who's going from Seattle to Australia with us. So we have another cruise that we are organizing, which is much more longer. It's 27 days. And everyone who's on that part of the trip also is invited to come to all these events that we are hosting here in Asia after the trip. So it's really a get together, not just with this community, but also with the community that will be on board from the Seattle to Asia trip. So just keep this in mind. It's not just about the cruise. It's really about making the connections and making and the travel and everything that comes afterwards. And there are so many amazing things to do in Asia. So that's why we are going, and that's why we are taking the cruise there. Okay. So just keep in mind now Singapore to Hong Kong, 7th to 14th of February. These are the dates, and it's the perfect winter escape, really. I mean, all of Europe will be super cold, and the States, and where else you want to go than Asia or South America or, well, like Southern Africa. So this is really, really an amazing way to kickstart, to connect with the community in just these short days and then continue the journey. So I want to say that, and also basically to get involved with this trip, if you want, we are always looking for speakers. So many of you always ask us who want to do a talk. You can already apply now, nomadcruise.com/speaker. So we are talking, basically, you can already apply. We're going to start planning the program for this trip very, very soon. We also have possibilities to work together as sponsors. Like if you want to get involved in any other way, or if you're a creator and you want to share content or anything, you can just send us an email to info@Nomad Cruise. So these are some ways to get on board. And also there are possibilities to become a volunteer, but we're always giving those possibilities primarily to people who already booked the trip. Okay, and also people who have already joined us in the past, because it's if you want to be a volunteer, it's always important that you already know a little bit how everything works on the cruise. Okay, so now let's just quickly talk about how to get on board. Everything is included: accommodation, all meals, full conference program, everything that we do on board, including the Wi-Fi. There are a few things that are not included, which is a drinks package. So you can buy your own drinks on board. You can keep it pretty cheap and just buy a few waters. But if you want to basically have as much drinks and whichever type of drinks you want, that's a drink package. That's optional, and that we are giving away now for some of you who are joining. And then we also have a few trips that we are organizing when we're going to these trips. Travel insurance, flight, of course, like these things are not included. We have 3 different cabin types. Really, if you don't have the budget, just book an inside cabin. There's not such a huge difference between the things, but obviously if you want to go a bit more fancy, you can go for a balcony cabin. That's really up to your choice, and there's quite a big price difference between these things. So I want to say here, the most important thing, and actually really the only way how we can organize these trips, is if we get people to commit early to these trips. And this is why if you're joining and if you decide like, hey, I want to jump on board like 1 month before the trip, then you pay much, much higher rates, okay? Actually, the rate that we show here is one of the little bit higher rates, but I want to say that actually the price will probably go up even more than what we have here displayed. It is really that it's impossible for us to organize a cruise if everyone books 2 months before departure. So we want to make it really, really easy for everyone to jump on board. You just have to pay a 250 euro deposit to basically secure your spot, and then pay the final amount 3 months before departure. We have very good refund rates and everything, but it is really, really a lot about we need your early commitment to make this happen, and that's why we reward everyone who joins and who decides to get on board now. And this is how we already have almost 100 people booked. We shared this on the last cruise, and already 100 people actually have booked this trip. Okay, so what I want to say is that the price will go up, but just for you, actually, so we are starting the price at 1,600 euros right now, which is slowly raising, and the single cabin started 2,300 euros. And then as well, just because you're joining and because you signed up for the wait list, you are like interested in being part of this. Also, we have another code that is available for basically 72 hours. So you can get another 200 euros off with the code launch26. Okay, so you just book this now. You only pay 250 euros deposit, and that gets you on board. Is there anything you want to add, Steph, or because you were like...
No, I was saying this is amazing. These prices are amazing. So definitely try to hop on board as soon as possible. I'm just super excited. It's the first time we're going to be in Asia. The locations, the destinations are amazing. And I've already know a little bit of who signed up for it. And it's going to be a really, really good crowd. So definitely join us.
Yeah. And also I have to say there, like this crowd, we had a really, really amazing group on the last cruise. And it's not that you come there as a newbie and like it's gonna be a little bit tricky to jump in. Like everyone also just only spent like 6 days together. So very, very open-minded, open group. And like if you want to jump on board now, you get this for the best rate. I do not think that we will have, so seeing the interest of this trip, it's not going to be something that you can jump on board last minute. Actually, even for the last cruise, we had a wait list in the end of 60 people who we couldn't take with us, right? So really taking it too long just doesn't make so much sense. And that's why we do these rewards for everyone, okay? And so if you want, you can just go to this site. We actually haven't even published this on the website yet. It's nomadcruise.com. Maybe someone from the team can share the link here now as well in the chat, so you can go ahead and book this. So nomadcruise.com/NC16, and then you can jump on board. Okay, so that's how it works. And then now we are giving away actually 2 more drink packages for people of you, whoever types the answer first. So let's see, what are the questions now? What is the third country we are going to visit on this cruise? There's always a small delay. There's always a small delay with the answers, but like whoever types it first in our system. So that will be Zara. Zara wins this package. Okay, amazing. Cool. That's you're welcome. So good. That was so fast. Okay. Okay. And now we have another one. Sweden. Yeah. The third country will be Sweden. Okay. So now we have another question for you. And this one is, from which Greek island is Johannes hosting the launch party? Where am I right now? And we're waiting again for the answer, a little time delay. So, okay, Susan won this one. Yes, well done, Susan. That's great. Okay, perfect. So now we are here from beautiful island of Naxos. And actually just now, I will, once this is over, we are going to a little meetup with probably about 70 people who all made it here for the cruise and who are just like winding down here. So yeah, that's where we are based now. So now I just wanted to check if any one of you has any more questions about this cruise. This is now a little bit of a smaller group. We are again like didn't make a huge pre-launch on the web, so these are you are just the ones who like actually read the emails that we're sending out. So that's another thing we always want to reward. But if you have any questions or anything you want to know, then we can answer this here, and then we can yeah, happy to get back here. And otherwise, keep in mind this code is available for 72 hours. Don't wait too long with your booking, and yeah, that's about it. So I think that many of you have already joined these webinars and stuff before, so it is actually pretty clear, right? Like what we're doing here. But if there's anything that you need to know, then please, yeah, let us know. Okay. Any questions? Let us know now. And otherwise, we are going to close this. Webinar.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. So, Steph, what are you gonna do after the cruise?
After the Asia cruise, I don't know yet. I'm remaining flexible. I'm excited to stay a little bit in Hong Kong for the Chinese New Year. I think that's going to be super exciting. I've never been, so definitely a little bit of time there. And then, you know, I've never been to Taiwan. I've never been to many of the places that that we're going to organize reunions in the journey. So probably weave in and out of the journey and get to see other amazing destinations with the community.
Okay, yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, there are also actually a few Nomad events happening. We're talking to a few organizers of things where we can also go as a community, and yeah, so that's about it. So actually, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Steph, for joining tonight, and we will share more updates and everything on the email. Just book it now, and then you can be prepared and connect with those people who are on board already. And then, yeah, we can't wait to see many of you in Asia. Okay? Thanks so much, and have a good evening, day, good morning, wherever you are right now. Okay? Ciao. Bye.
Bye. Tschüss.
Tschüss.